Howdy folks, it's Diecast Buffalo here again, and it's time for race 9 out of 36, the Pontiac Excitement 400 from Richmond International Raceway. Last two races, we have went to victory lane, and, well, it's feeling pretty good in the Roush shop, I'll tell you that. So we moved up from 8th place in points to 6th place, and, well, looks like Jimmy Johnson fell like a rock. From the top 5, he's back down to 7th, finishing dead last, and Martinsville really killed him. It was right there next to Gordon, and he just dropped like a rock. But we're moving up there. We're only 163 points away from Sterling Marlin. Sterling Marlin has not been as good as he usually runs the last two races. Finishing about, what was it, like 20th, something like that, 16th, and then finished 11th last weekend at Martinsville. You can see kind of his average finish starting to reduce. It was at like a 3, it was like 3.2, so now it's at a 5.7. I wonder what our qualifying average is. Qualifying average is a 7.6. That's really freaking good. So, upcoming schedule. So we got Richmond, Talladega, Lewis Motor Speedway, and Dover. So that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Fun stuff. Fun stuff, guys. Fun stuff. Well, let's, what kind of paint scheme? We're going to run the normal Supercard car. We're going to run it here. And let's go back to Virginia. Alright, so we qualified on the pole once again. I mentioned in the last episode that we qualified on pole at Martinsville. We actually didn't. I forgot we qualified second, so yeah, I do want to fix that kind of issue there. But anyways, let's go ahead and head down to pre-race ceremonies.
Welcome to Richmond, Virginia.
Gotta give me some more coffee.
For today's Nascar Winston Cup race here on MRN. What's in store for us on this track, Barney?
Well, Richmond is a short track with a wide surface. They can go a lot faster than the years on the speedway. Look for a lot of passing and a ton of close calls.
Jeff Burton has strung together back-to-back top fives, and I'm sure he'll try for
Heck yeah.
You know, people get so concerned with wins.
Beautiful race car, man. Beautiful race car.
Over a win. Besides, when you're constantly finishing in the top 5, a win is just around the corner.
An unusual back-of-the-pack start for Todd Bodine.
Yeah, he's definitely not used to having to pick through traffic so early in a race. This could make it an exciting race for him, or it could be disastrous. You just never know when you start in the back.
The low Chevrolet must have had problems.
Beautiful race car.
You're right, it's going to be tough for him.
It's some really bad luck for Jimmy Johnson. Finished dead last at Martinsville, now 36th. Looks like to be a possible early championship favorite. I wouldn't say favorite, but contender. Hitting some bad luck out here in Virginia. Engines are fired underneath the lights at Richmond International Raceway. It's me against Tony Stewart on the front row. Jeff Burton against Joe Gibbs Racing's Home Depot Pontiac. So this is the Pontiac Excitement 400. It's a full moon, guys. Look, it's a full moon. Crazy stuff's gonna happen. It's got to. It wouldn't be a Richmond race without something happening. Maybe someone will climb the catch fence again. Kyle Petty, back-to-back top 5, or top 3, honestly, qualifying positions in this back-to-back short track run. We're going to be up front on pole. We won both Richmond races last year. We swept this place. Can we do it again? Can we get our 3rd straight Richmond win? We're going for the championship, guys. This is what we want. And look, Sterling Marlin, guys, he's not even in the top 10. This is what we want. Let's go for it. Green flag at Richmond. This is our race to win, guys. All eyes are on the Sitco team. This is our race to win. It looks like Tony Stewart has damage behind us, but he actually doesn't. I think that's just a texture glitch. I remember mentioning that, I think at Las Vegas. It looked like he had damage on his right front fender, but it actually wasn't. car is extremely loose. I remember the first race last year, the spring Richmond race. We blew the competition out of the water. And the second one, not so much. We won the race and dominated, but I believe it was Rusty Wallace that was closing in. He wasn't closing in, but he was, somewhat in the ballpark. If we were on third base, he was on first and a half base, essentially. He wasn't too far away, but he was decently far away. Meanwhile, we are pulling away from Kyle Petty and his Dodge. It's a 40-lap race. One thing I do know is that last year we did kind of cut the fuel mileage a little sharp. So we really do want to make sure we do hit the halfway point before we fill up our tank. Make sure we get our a lot of fuel mileage out of this first run. The car, overall, it's not one of those racetracks where your car feels fast. Like I feel like we're much slower than the real life Winston Cup cars, but for some reason it's so fast against these AIs. These are legendary AIs, but just Richmond, man, it suits me. It suits me. It's a fun racetrack. At least on this game, it's fun. I mean, like a NASCAR 06, you're racing the wheel in modifieds, and it's great stuff, guys. It's great stuff. Underneath the lights at Richmond, it's fun. And getting your modified tires all the way at the bottom of the racetrack, it's fun. I'm very excited to be able to do this second season playthrough of this. And I mean, honestly, this might be something I continue to do. Because, like, I see a lot of YouTubers, they do, like, one season or one career mode season or until they win a championship and they call it quits. But honestly, the number one thing that makes me like the Thunder games more than any of them, or honestly any sports games, is statistics. You watch your sports broadcasts and they're like, oh, this guy's played, 10, 15 years in the NFL. He won a Super Bowl this year and he, got an MVP this year. Well, NASCAR is the same way. A championship driver this year, wins the 500 this year. Every year is different, right? But when you have a free agency silly season, thing like NASCAR 04 and 03, it gives you that sense of realism, seeing how your career develops and having the statistics to back it up, how many races you've won, your top 5, stuff like that. Stuff like that I love. I love statistics in sports. And when it comes to NASCAR, that's right up my alley. But it makes me want to play the games more. I have a NASCAR 06 playthrough that I've had since I was, I think, 15 years old. And I played it so much, guys, that the career mode, or fight to the top mode, I call it career mode, but it glitched out and I make double points every race. I use no cheat codes, no exploits, nothing. I can go and finish, I can win a race and I can get double the points. So essentially, in the chase, I'm hundreds and hundreds of points ahead of everyone. Because in just a few races, I just drastically drag out the points lead. And it essentially makes it where you're guaranteed to win the championship every season now. Which is really, honestly, it's a bummer, But, I love playing a game and role-playing in it and, just moving up through it. So, with the NASCAR 4 career mode, I plan on keeping that thing around if we do win the championship on there, if we do. I plan on keeping it past that, I think it'd be awesome to be able to run the full career mode. I mean, could you imagine, be able to we run 20 seasons. This is my legacy. This is what we did. We won this many 500s. We won no 500s, whatever. Enough of me blabbering. We're halfway on gas here. And it tells me that if we're halfway on gas and we ran 13 laps, using Larry McReynolds' strategy, that means we have 26 laps in our Ford Taurus. That tells me we're about, we could probably, give away 3 laps. We're 26, maybe 25, 24, I'm just going to call it a solid 25. So if we're at 25 laps worth of gas, at least, that's kind of what the trends are showing. Because if we're halfway at 13, and, it's a 40-lap race, then that's 26 laps at tank. So what I'm thinking is that if it's 26 laps a tank, and halfway is at 20 laps, then we can possibly pit, 3 laps earlier than lap 26. So it'll be 23 laps on this run without having to risk a drastic fuel mileage issue. So if my calculations are correct, lap 23 we can pit and be 2 to 3 laps good on fuel. That's my pit stop analogy right now. Tires are worn. Let's try to keep the car clean. How cool would it be to win this race? Get our 3rd straight Richmond win. That would be awesome. So, I want to win this championship. I really do. I want to get Jeff Burton a championship. And what's funny is I'm not like a super Jeff Burton guy, but I like the vintage Ford Tauruses. I love the bodies of the cars. They're just rounded off. They're almost like a bubble. If you look at a late 90s, early 2000s Ford Taurus, it looks like a bubble. And it's just something about it I like. It looks cool. Now, these guys are pitting at lap 18. They are pitting at the earliest point of their window. I'm not going to do that. And my reasoning why is I'm going to make sure we have enough gas. So instead of pitting at lap 23, I'll probably pit at lap 21, 22. We're going to make sure we have enough gas. We're not going to take the bait. We're going to make sure we have enough fuel. Lap 20. Let's see. I think we can come down now. Lap 21. I think we'll be okay. We need 4 tires and no damage repair. We're gonna leave the car how it is. Actually, no. Let's. Actually, no. Yeah, we'll reduce the PSI a little bit so we can get a little bit higher acceleration. But that's kind of what I'm thinking is that if we pit a lap 21, which we are, which is now lap 22, that's if we have 26 laps or 25 laps in the tank, that's 3 laps we're giving up. But that we should be good. We should be good because we pitted past the halfway point, which essentially means we made 20 laps on 1 tank of fuel. We can make the 20 laps on the next tank of fuel. And oh my goodness, there's Jeff Purvis right there. Kind of caught me in a bad spot there. The apron, your car is not exactly the best of handling, getting up to speed. You got a car right there, and a twitchy analog stick does not work well. Anywho, back outside pit road, full speed ahead. I love Richmond. It's fun. On the newer NASCAR games, I don't like it because it's just not my type of racetrack on those. It's a little bit harder, but the older and vintage NASCAR games, if you have good equipment, it's a fun racetrack. It really is. I remember on NASCAR 6 running the Busch Series races here, and oh my goodness, it's so much fun. It's so much fun going here in Darlington. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. You kind of feel how like Kyle Busch and like Kevin Harvick and these guys, I thought they were pitting there, that's why I slowed down, but you feel kind of like how those guys, why they always run the lower series races, Like Richmond, it's just, one of those normal weekends where you have the race on Friday night and then you have your normal Cup Series race on Saturday night. It's just something about it. It's fun. Underneath the lights, get some more track experience. It's fun. Got the 101 car on the outside. A bunch of rookies. I mean, that's what I love so much about the old Thunder games is you see the teams, like the guys you first started racing with, you see them kind of slowly fade out and retire, which is really cool. Got the lead again at Richmond, and our car is lightning fast. So hopefully we can get ourselves our 3rd straight Winston Cup win and tie Sterling Marlin for wins this year. So I want to win this championship, guys. I really do. I learned my lesson in season 1 about what our strengths are. Like, for instance, the Coke 600. On paper, our car should be good there because it's just a 1.5 mile cookie cutter oval. Well, at the 600, we did miserable. our car finished like 35th or 40th. Well, in the fall, we had a decent run because we were able to keep up with Dale Jr., who was leading that race. And we got a car on the inside. It looks like Jamie McMurray has fell into an engine failure. I got Jimmy Johnson here. Cars are starting to stack up a little bit. Don't want to damage the Ford. Where is second place? Tony Stewart. I don't see a Home Depot Pontiac anywhere close. I'm not too much of a hurry. I'm just worried about one of them stalling out and me slamming into them. I try to keep my race car as clean as possible. That's part of short track racing. You get these packs of lap down cars who just can't get away from each other. That's dangerous right there. If Michael Waltrip would have like glitched out and his car got loose, he would have clipped McMurray there, and he would have stacked up Johnson right into my front nose. That would have been really bad. Go. I'm feeling the endurance of this race. My throat's getting a little parched. All this talking. It's just, just one of those typical, NASCAR Cup Series races where one guy just goes out there and leads most of the laps. It's just part of the sport, Watching it as a fan, it sucks to most people. Personally, I enjoy watching it, I like seeing guys like Kevin Harvick go to Atlanta, win or lead 200 and something laps. I like it, but that's just me. I don't like stage racing. I like seeing one guy lead a lot sometimes. I like seeing crash fests. I like seeing just NASCAR racing. Just how I am. These cars right here, they just can't stay away from each other. A bunch of Monte Carlos. You got Johnson, you got Bonnie, you got Waltrip. Bunch of guys you got Hamilton, you got Green. Just a bunch of Monte Carlos who just can't get away from each other. You got one, one little Ford in there with Ryan Newman, but he's not making much of a ground there on the outside behind Hamilton. And I'm not really trying right now, guys. I'm just staying behind him. I don't want to get my car into trouble. I just want to take care of my equipment. Whoa, see, like right there. That's why I don't want to be behind them, because they slow up. I love that vintage Terry Labonte's car, or Terry Labonte car. And look at that. It's just beautiful. The orange tiger stripes in the back of the car, just a normal kind of like cobalt blue in a way. And it has like the milk splashed on the back of it. It's so cool. I can just imagine, the vintage 2002 cereal boxes with Kellogg's on it. Kellogg's, doing promotional events with Terry Labonte, having his car there, pretty cool stuff. Meanwhile, we do need to get around these guys at some point, but I'm not too aggressive right now. We really don't have to get around them. There we go. We get around Terry Labonte. I love Hendrick Motorsports, but they're competition, guys. They are competition. Jimmy Johnson, he is competition. He's fell in some hard luck. Let's get a top 5 update. Stewart, Craven, Harvick, and Labonte. So, once again, a lot of new faces up here. Stewart's no, rookie to the limelight, so to speak. He's really good at Richmond. That's probably why he's in second place. I'm going to back out of it. I'm going to let these guys run it out. I'll just stay behind them. They're double wide at Richmond for like the last 10 laps. I'm not worried about it, guys. I'm just going to log laps, and then hopefully a green flag run to the end. Actually, I think if a caution came out now, the race would be over. There wouldn't be enough time to get the cars lined up and do pit stops within a few laps. So I'm just going to let off the gas. I'm going to let them just duke it out. I ain't worried about lapping them. I don't get paid extra. Now that they say, like, oh, each car you laps $500 or something, that'd be cool. But no. Or like you get a point for every car you lap down, every 2 or 3 cars. That'd be cool. That would be an actually interesting thing, is how many cars you lap down actually gives you points. It'd be interesting. White flag in the air at Richmond. Jeff Burton looking to secure his 3rd straight Richmond victory. Dominated both races last year. Dominating tonight. in Virginia. Won last weekend at Martinsville. They're 3-4. The Super Guard Sitco Ford Taurus looking to go back to victory lane. Jeff Burton wins the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond. Win number 3 in a row. Absolutely awesome, guys. Another win for the team. We won 14 races last year. We got 3, and we're not even halfway. Burn it down. Absolutely awesome, guys. Awesome. Great win for the team. Great win for the team. I mean, we've definitely established that this track is ours. This is definitely our racetrack. 3rd straight win here. I mean, let's go do a burnout in the, not in the grass, over here in the little checkered pattern area, the victory lane. Let's get a little bit of rubber here. Going back to victory lane 3 weeks in a row, putting Roush back on the map. 4 wins so far for Roush Racing. Sitco going back to victory lane. I mean, this is awesome, guys. Awesome stuff. Fontana, Martinsville, Richmond. We are definitely a championship contender, no question. Jeff Burton picking up his 3rd win this year. Awesome stuff. And that's 17 wins in 2 years. That is Jeff Gordon, Richard Petty type numbers right there. That's a lot of wins. That's a lot of wins. That's awesome. 3rd straight win for Jack Roush at Richmond. We do it again. Tony Stewart is good at Richmond. He's going to come home 2nd. But look at that. Sterling Marlin 5th. Tried to pull one over on us, and he couldn't get it done. We led the most laps. Marlin didn't lead any laps, so he gets no bonus points. We get another max points day. We get 185 points, meaning we gain 30 points on Marlin. That's what we need, guys. Great finish for the team. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content, smash that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a great one. And Diecast Buffet, signing off.